If you're new around here, we're the Newbies, a family creating a homestead in northern Portugal for us and our two little boys, Crusoe and Sawyer. We believe in living life to our little motto: be brave, think big, explore. Sometimes that leads us down paths of great success and joy, and other times we really have to dig deep through the frustration and face failure head on. This video is a tale of two halves, a celebration of a small house finished into our home, and that of a tiny house that's given more headaches than it has square meters. We hope it serves as a reminder for us all that sometimes living by a life motto takes a little more than usual, but it's in that challenge that the learning lies. If you've been watching for a while, you'll know that I have been whittering on about making a compost bin system and building a compost bin for a really long time. And I just haven't got around to organising it. But I finally have, with the very kind help of Lida and Jose, who have brought me some pallets so that we can get going. So with that and the greenhouse, it's time to start getting the vegetable garden sorted. Oh, this is amazing. Look, love, it's finally happening.
Não são todas iguais.
So, compost bins aside, I promised I would show you around our finished kitchen. Now, I think it's finished. It's almost finished. It's probably just got a few little bits of skirting and a few kind of like above the door there, things like that to finish. But as far as kind of decorating and making it feel like home, I think we're done. We're there. And we're so happy with it. A couple of weeks ago, you would have watched me putting our little tiles from Morocco as a splashback behind the sink. Oh, that is one thing I have to do still, is a splashback behind the oven. But yeah, we've just like slowly been unpacking boxes with a few of our like travel trinkets in, adding just a few last bits and pieces in. And it's just come together so beautifully. And yeah, I thought I'd show you around our room. Just the one room. Love it. So Sawyer just got a bit bored of playing on the floor by himself, which I suppose is fair enough. So I thought I'd sit down and just tell you a little bit about what I love about this room the most. I think the thing for me is that slowly, as we've settled in over the last few weeks, we've managed to kind of unpack and find a home for a few of our favourite things which we've picked up on our travels. And you know, John had done so much traveling before we got together and before we met that a lot of the kind of trinkets and things in our lives were part of his story and not part of our story. But what I really love is that so much of this stuff is our story now, and it's all kind of things that we've collected on our travels together as a family, and that feels really special. So everywhere I look, I'm kind of, you know, memories are sparked by things. And you know, we're not big on stuff, especially kind of collecting lots and lots of stuff. I find quite overwhelming, but I feel like we've got to a place where we've got some really special things that hold really special memories for us as a family, and it just feels amazing to be amongst them and to have those memories with us always. So let me tell you about a few of my favorites. First of all, there's a lot of things from Zimbabwe in here, which of course is important because that's my home. Well, was my home before Portugal became my home. So behind us here, you can see there's a cow made out of a rock. That rock came from Zimbabwe. That was a very heavy thing to get into a suitcase, but we managed. Hey, buddy. This is a very wriggly baby. The baskets on the wall are also from a market in Zim, and I remember buying them with John, and the lady we bought them from was so grateful for our business because life in Zimbabwe is really hard at the moment. It feels good when things have got a bit of a positive impact attached to them. Up on the wall behind me as well is our beautiful painting from Nicole Sanderson, who's a Zimbabwean artist. I just can't stop looking at it. I'm absolutely in love with it, and I think it's the perfect place. We also have our lamp from Morocco, which we bought on our trip last year. And all of that is standing on this incredible piece of furniture, which I picked up on Facebook Marketplace a couple of days ago. I was looking for beds for the tiny house, but got completely distracted by this. And let me tell you the story of it, because it really illustrated how incredible Portuguese people are. The person who we bought it from drove it here for us because we couldn't fit it into our car. He drove it here to drop it off and brought his whole family. And they kind of came in, they met us, they helped us move some heavy things that we had lying around, which we didn't, hadn't got round to moving into the right place, just because they realized that we were doing this project all by ourselves and they wanted to help. And I just thought that would never ever happen anywhere else. It certainly wouldn't happen in the UK, and we feel so grateful for the Portuguese people and their kindness and their warmth. It really is unrivaled. Okay, I'm gonna try and walk around a bit and see if Sawyer settles a bit more. Hey buddy. Anyway, behind us on the windowsill there is the little elephant that we bought in Namibia from a tiny roadside stall with a family there with young children, and I'll never forget that day. It was just incredible, and that little elephant holds a very special place in my heart because it was the first trip we did with Crusoe to Africa. Namibia was by far our favorite. If you haven't watched those videos, please go check them out. They're really special family memories for us. And then next to it is this really fun creation we found in a petrol station in Zimbabwe, made by an old man who has kind of come up with these incredible things where you push it along, and as you push it along, the rhino chases the bloke in the front. And he said to us, oh, it's a rhino poacher, and it's the rhino chasing the poacher away. And we just thought it was absolutely genius. And for all of that incredible artwork, that cost us $10 US. So we bought two and gave one to my nephew, and I love it. I love the ingenuity of it. I love how beautiful it is. And again, just has such a lovely memory. John's also put some shelves up, which means I can get my jars out. We can hang our mugs up. Just gives us a bit more space in here. He's also finished all the shelves inside the cupboards. So we've got plenty of storage, which makes a huge difference because that's something that we haven't really had for ages. He also just this morning installed our new wine rack, which is very cool. Using some of the terracotta wine holders that were in our adega, our not garage, which I'm sure we'll use again one day because we are planning to plant some vines and to start sort of learning how to make wine. But for the moment, those ones have come in here and they just fit perfectly in place. So that's really cool. This little corner is another one with lots of memories. Both of those things were from Tanzania, the little baobab tree at the top and the beautiful picture, which I think was painted actually in Sudan, or Sierra Leone, I can't remember which one. But anyway, we picked it up in Tanzania at a camp that was owned by the company that I used to work for. So that has really incredible memories for us too, and was one of the first things that John and I purchased together. Anyway, probably time to go and crack on with more important projects on the farm. But as you were all here for the building of this room and watching John kind of create the kitchen, I just thought it'd be nice to show you how it's all ended up and what we've ended up doing with it. And share a few stories of how it's all come together. Anyway, let's go and get on with some real work, shall we? What do you think, Sawyer? Love you. Also, full disclosure, it hardly ever looks this tidy. I've obviously just tidied it so that I can film it for you. But please be under no illusions that our toddler doesn't make it look like a bomb's gone off in here most of the time. It is definitely time for Sawyer's nap, but we're fighting it a little bit. So he's going to come with me to do a few jobs. First thing first is to take our bin and empty the compost, and then I could bring in some laundry and, well, just some general pottering around the farm. I wanted to share with you a brand that we recently discovered, which we've so enjoyed. This is Waterdrop, and they're a company on a mission to reduce the single-use plastic that comes from pre-packaged hydration drinks and to get us all drinking more water. And I personally feel so much better on the days when I've had enough water. They're these little micro drinks, which are so clever, that come in these tiny little blisters. And you just pop them in your water. They taste so refreshing. It's not a strong flavor. They're completely sugar-free. They've got vitamins, and I I just think it's such a clever idea. They also have a range of energy drinks and micro teas. So there's something for everyone really. There's a lovely choice of drinkware. So we got one of their stainless steel bottles, one of their glass bottles, and Crusoe especially loves his little toddler froggy bottle. I was going through a phase of really battling to get him to drink enough water during the day, and this has genuinely made all the difference. So if you'd like to try it for yourself, which I highly recommend you do, use the link in our description below and our code newbies10 to get 10% off. I really hope you enjoy it as much as we do. And a huge thanks to Waterdrop for sponsoring this episode. We think you're fab. We love what you're doing. I'm not sure that's legal. Well done.
You have arrived, my darling.
I'm so impressed.
Yeah, good. Crusoe's had an ice cream.
Oh, no, he hasn't. Don't tell me that.
Yum, yum.
Was it yum, yum?
Mommy, juice.
Juice? And what you got there?
Croissant.
A croissant?
Yeah.
Gosh, you are living your life, huh?
Who are they for?
Oh, thanks, buddy. Thank you. So, success.
Success, yeah.
That's great news, love.
Tomorrow, I've got to go into Amarante and pick up some screws. And the screws will be able to go into cement.
Okay.
So straight through the wood into the cement, and then we're on our way. But you know, stuff like this does kill the budget slightly. It will be a better job though.
Mama.
That's important, I suppose, isn't it?
Oh, heavy, heavy.
Heavy. Whoa.
If only, Crusoe, we could use your wheelbarrow, hey? Should we put one in your wheelbarrow?
Yes.
I think it's a bit big. What do you think?
No.
Oh, okay.
There. Mommy.
Yes, my darling.
Chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake? I thought you...
A what?
Hey, love.
Yeah.
What's the plan with the skylight?
First we'll do the roof.
Okay.
Just build it normal, and then after that we just cut it in.
Oh, I see. Okay. Do you know what I'm interested to see?
Yeah.
As soon as the roof's back on, how much light these windows give, because it's so, what's the word, like, you know, without the roof on, you're like, oh, such a lovely, light, airy room. But once the roof goes back on again, that's going to really show what the windows are doing or not doing, isn't it?
It will, but we can really, we can put as much roof light in as we like.
Yeah.
All right, so while I wait for the screws so that I can put the OBS board onto the top of the roof, I'm going to start doing the underside of the roof. And now, I know that's probably, definitely not the right way to do things. Crusoe, are you all right? Come on. I know it's definitely not the right way to do things, but the sun is shining. It's going to be shining all day, and actually for the next 10 days, it's sunshine on the forecast. So I'm confident there's going to be no rain. The OBS board hopefully will start to go on later today, so we're not going to be leaving any wood exposed for particularly long periods of time, and I just really want to crack on with it. So, what are we doing, buddy? Are we going to start chopping some wood?
Yeah.
What's that on your face?
Spider.
Spider. All right. Okay, you go and do some digging, Crusoe, and Daddy will start building a ceiling. Good? Yeah. Whoops. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. Brilliant, eh? What do we need to do to get started? Yeah, I think we need to cut an angle first, don't we?
Lens. Look. Jump. The big one.
You know, those gaps are wider than that. I remember them supposed to be. We'll see how the panel goes in place.
No. Daddy.
Yeah. Okay, that's a really slow start. I'm facing some obstacles here because these beams, of course, as you'd expect, are steel reinforced. So I'm trying to put holes into the cement, which in itself is a little bit challenging because it's very, very hard cement. But on top of that, I'm facing steel inside the cement, rebar, I think, you know, like, I don't know, maybe 5mm, 8mm metal pieces, rods going through it. And I'm hitting it every single time, which means my drill bit lasts for 2 holes and then it's blunt, it's done, which makes drilling the rest of the holes really hard. So, and the same, it's going to be the same on the top. Really frustrating. What I need is a kick-ass drill bit that's just going to go straight in and straight back out and make it cut like butter. So I think that's going to be a trip to the local town, the local hardware store, see if they've got anything. Otherwise, it's going to be 100 drill bits and 20 million days worth of work. Why can't I just get on with it? You know, it's like, ugh. Just want to do it. Oh, all right, I have been to the shops and what have we got, Crusoe?
I think this box.
We got a big drill.
Hello?
Yeah, it's not an expensive one, but it's just big enough, I think, to make the job a bit easier. And then we got some of these hardcore drill bits that should...
No.
What's that, buddy?
Walk. No, walk.
Is it noisy, huh?
No.
There you go.
Castle.
Should make the job go a little bit easier for sure. I'm going to make some noise, Crusoe. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Crusoe doesn't like the noises that these big drills make. I don't blame him. It's not the nicest. Let's have a go. See where it gets in there. I just don't know what to do. Look at that. That's a new drill bit, and that's my drill bit after drilling 5 holes. How do I get into that? That's a DeWalt drill bit as well, man. There's 10 euros for that bit. This is a problem. So here we are, look, for comparison, literally 5 holes. This is what I'm left with. That's a new one, obviously. That one is the drill bit that I've just been using. I mean, for goodness sake. The only thing I can think to do is to either clamp or to glue. You know? And then I've got to put the boards on the ceiling, on the roof of this as well. I can't spend 10 euros for 5 holes every time I need to drill. I mean, that's dead now. That's the end of that life. I mean, the easiest thing to do would be to get rid of the cement beams and make them wood. I can't think of another, like literally I don't, it's just such a big job to get rid of those, you know? Hey Crusoe. Okay team, just been on the roof, having a look around, and if you remember, we're going to be putting these OBS boards down and we're going to want to panel up. So, I think the only way to do this is to get rid of the concrete beams and replace them with wood. I don't think that, I can't think of a way of drilling into those beams without just, like, it's gonna take ages, even with a drill that works. You know, a screw from wood into wood, 2 seconds. One hole, lots of noise, lots of dust, more dust, more noise, done. Wall plug in, screw in. I mean, you know, it's 2-3 minutes per hole. I must have at least 200 holes to drill here. So not only 200-300 holes is gonna, well, 200 holes, what's that? If I'm going through a drill bit every 5 holes, you do the maths, 40 drills. 40 drills, that's 400 euros on drills. Well, that's the budget blown straight away. So folks, it might seem like it's going to take a lot longer, but I think I'm going to take the roof off, properly off. I just said that out loud. I don't really want to be honest. This was supposed to be an easy, quick job. I'm going to go and complain to the wife. I'm off. Tara! No, you're Crusoe. Where's Tara? I'm going to take the roof off. Yeah.
You want my mirror, my God?
Okay, so they're heavy, really heavy. Hey, Crusoe, what have you got there? Are they for me? Thanks, buddy. Man knows when to give his dad a break. All right, folks, it's been a long day, but I've got the entire roof off and I just put a beam in there. I stole it from the squatters. They're just around the corner and Badger said, why don't you come and borrow some wood from me? So there we go, it's in place. Tomorrow, instead of breaking things, we get to build things. And that bit I love, I can't wait.
Some trees going to call apple, peach, apple tree, orange peach, apple tree, true, and apples.
Apples?
And
Should we go and ask Mummy whether she's got an apple?
peach, this plum, tree, plum, orange.
Okay, one of the three anyway, hey? Let's go see whether Mummy's got a plum, orange or an apple.
We got the water.
Okay, let's get some water.